Hello, me Tina here. How's everyone's doing? Well, what if I tell you that the aliens may show up here in just a few years? Hmm. How about if I ask you this question? Do you know the origin of the Earth? Or do you know what's going to happen to the Earth? I mean, amongst this chaos that's going on right now in the next 5 to 10 years? Well, I have someone who's going to be telling you all about this. But before I introduce him to you, I just want to share a little bit about him. He is an author of this book called The Origin of Our Cosmic. Hey, look at the book he's showing. It's beautiful, isn't it? Check this out. It's on Amazon.com right now, in paperback, in Kindle. And his intention of this book is about raising an awareness and consciousness. All right, so it's beautiful intention here. So let's welcome Ismael Perez. Ismael, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, no, thank you for being here and sharing your gift and your knowledge to everyone here. I just have to warn some of you, you got to be quite open-minded about this, what he's going to share. But let me tell you, at the end of this video is going to be quite fascinating, enlightening. All right. So, all right, Isabel, what do you got to share with us? Tell us about the origin of this cosmic and the Earth, because I don't think anyone really know about it, really. And we always kept question about that, right?
Was in the cosmos. We originated in the highest levels of our dimensional planes of reality. In fact, the human race on this planet was seeded by other advanced races that contributed their DNA in order to make a super race. So in our original makeup, we were known as a 12-strand DNA Terranusian race. And the whole purpose of this was to create a super race that would act as guardians, not only of this universe, but of the entire multiverse. So in the beginning, there was just pure consciousness, an immeasurable amount of energy that was concentrated in its totality. And that totality has always existed without beginning or end. We could call that prime creator source. Now, according to the scientific community, through the fields of quantum physics, that is equivalent to what they call base reality. Now, pure consciousness, in an effort to explore more of itself, decided to branch off or break off into pieces of itself. So it first broke off into 7 pieces, and those 7 aspects of itself became the 7 super universes. Furthermore, those 7 super universes also broke off into smaller minor pieces, and then those smaller minor pieces became known as cosmic major sectors. But bear in mind that each piece contains the whole, according to the holographic concept of reality. So in essence, everything's interconnected by virtue of being part of that one infinite creator source. So in addition to the 10 major cosmic sectors, they were further divided into minor cosmic sectors. And then finally, those minor cosmic sectors were divided into what we call local universes. And now through the scientific avenues of quantum physics, superstring theory, M theory, and unified field theory, there is so much scientific evidence to support the concept that we do live in a multiverse. So now we're shifting. We're shifting from the old paradigm that said that it was just one world, one galaxy, one universe, to the possibility that we are part of a system of many worlds, many advanced civilizations, many galaxies, and now many universes. So the cosmos is actually bigger than what we were told. And so according to all my research, the whole purpose in writing this book was to open up humanity's mind to the greater organization of cosmos and our place in the multiverse. And in so doing, my intention is to bring back a multidimensional awareness, especially to those that are highly evolved souls that are incarnated as star seeds or light warriors. Your soul is a volunteered soul. You actually decided to incarnate at this time to help raise the collective of the planet and also help raise the vibration of Mother Gaia, in order for her to reach a level of existence that is now shifting into the 5th dimension. So the whole purpose of us coming down here was to help the planet and enhance the multiverse. So basically, I would like to propose that the different types of advanced space age civilization fall under 5 categories. So the first category is known as a planetary system. And a planetary system is a world that is that has discovered zero-point energy technology that no longer needs fossil fuels. It no longer gets its energy from plants or coal or combustion. It's able to go into surrounding solar systems and begin the colonization process of the surrounding neighborhood star systems and worlds. But that's just the beginning stage of their space travel. Now, there is another advanced level beyond that called stellar. Now, a stellar civilization is what scientists call a type 2. A type 2 is a civilization that has had thousands of years of zero-point energy mastery. They understand interdimensional physics to the level where they're able to manipulate wormholes and stargates in order to have access to an entire galaxy. So that's why they're called stellar. Now, the difference between a stellar advanced civilization and an interplanetary first stage beginning civilization is that a stellar uses the power of stars. They're able to tap into the source consciousness of a sun or several suns, whereas an interplanetary society gets their power from a planet. So they're only tapping into their own planet's power. So that's the reason why a type 2 stellar has access to an entire galaxy, because that is equivalent to the amount of energy that they're able to harness. But there is more. Beyond a type 2 stellar galactic, or beyond a type 2 stellar society, we have a galactic civilization that is known as a type 3. And a type 3, according to the Kardashev scale of advanced civilization societies, is able to tap into the power of an entire galaxy, which means that they harness the core sun or the central sun of a galaxy. Now, a type 3 would be considered millions of years ahead of us, 100,000 years ahead of a type 1, and a few thousand years ahead of a stellar type 2. So a type 3 level civilization also has the ability, I'm sorry, are you there? Oh
Yeah,
God, I
we're
think I
here.
lost you. I accidentally,
No, we're here.
somebody
I'm
called
here.
me.
I'm
Somebody
here.
called me.
No
There we go.
problem.
Okay, so a type 3, so a type 3 level galactic civilization are considered immortal. They have access to multiple galaxies, so they're part of what is known as an intergalactic community with other galaxies. Now, beyond a type 3, we also have a type 4. A type 4 is so advanced that they're able to harness the power of an entire universe, which consists of many, many galaxies. And at that level of reality, these are beings that are able to create universes at will by just projecting it from the thoughts. So they create universes through their thought projections. And that is the reason why scientists have been detecting about 10 universes coming into existence daily, because of the beings that exist in the type 4. Those are what we would consider creator gods. Now, beyond that, we also have one more level of advanced civilization known as a cosmic omniverse society. The cosmic omniverse society has a lot to do with the level of intelligence that exists within the highest dimensions of all realities. And these are also the dimensions that are considered eternal or infinite without beginning or end. So in the case of our omniverse, we could say that a type 5 is able to tap into the power of the multiverse. It's able to tap into the central sun core of the mother universe, which encompasses all realities, all dimensions, and all living universes. And those are the most advanced in the cosmos. In fact, our original origin began in these eternal spheres in the central universe. So to give you an example of the organization of cosmos, is that the Earth is considered planetary number 606 within our local universe, out of maybe about 900 worlds. Now, the Earth as planetary 606 is part of a system that consists of 52 solar systems, and that is known as the Pleiadians. So we are part of the Pleiadian star systems, which is a conglomerate of 52 solar systems and about approximately 900 planets. Furthermore, the Pleiadian cluster that we belong to, or the system, with about 100,000 other systems, make up a constellation council. And the constellation council in our case is known as number 70. So there is about 100 constellation councils that make up a local universe. So we belong to the constellation council of Sirius, and our constellation council with about 99 other constellation councils make up a local universe. So we belong to local universe number 84, which is also known as the local universe of Nebadon. Now, our local universe of Nebadon, which is number 84, is also further organized into a greater cosmic body known as a minor cosmic sector. So there is a total of 100 of those. And so we belong to the third minor cosmic sector known as Enzra. And then in turn, our cosmic minor sector known as Enzra is also further organized into a major cosmic sector, a total of 10. There's 10 major cosmic sectors, so we're part of the fifth major cosmic sector. And then in turn, our fifth major cosmic sector known as Splendon is also organized into a super universe segment. And in our case, we belong to the super universe of Orvintine. So there is 7 super universes collectively that make up the grand central motherverse. So in terms of these higher evolved beings having access to any level of reality or any planet, because there's organization on every level, all they have to do is plug in the stargates. So in the case of our Earth, they would first plug in the super universe that we belong to, which is number 7. So they plug in Stargate 7. And then they plug in the major cosmic sector that we belong to, which is number 5. So after 7, they plug in 5 because we're part of the major cosmic sector of Splendon. And then within that, they plug in number 3 because we're part of the third minor cosmic sector of Enzra. And then within that, they plug in universe number 84 because we belong to the local universe of Nebadon. And then within that, they plug in the constellation number 70. And then within that, they plug in the system of the 24, known as the Pleiadians. And then within the system of the 24, they plug in planetary 606. Or if they want to go to Venus, they plug in 607. Or if they want to go to Mars, 605 for Venus. Or if they want to go to Mars, they type in 607. So that way, every planet is registered in the grand scheme of things and well organized in the motherverse. So that's one of the main things that I reveal in the book, is that we're part of a bigger organization and that everything is being monitored. Everything is being organized by, the celestial architects that are operating from the what I revealed earlier, known as a type 4 space age, civilization. And then even the type 5, in a sense, are able to oversee the developments of the local universes. So everything is, being guided and orchestrated by these higher intelligences beyond our dimension. So we're dealing with many dimensions as well.
Wow. Ismael, because, everyone while listening to him, I'm sure you just like me would just go like, wow, how did you get all this information? That would be the question that most people would ask you, right, Isabel? I'm sure you get a lot of those questions.
I do. And a lot of it has been my own inner understanding of things, because I've always known information beyond this world. As a kid, I felt different. And also a lot of it is channeled information or downloads that I received throughout my years. And then the third aspect of me getting a lot of information or knowledge was through my research to validate and confirm all the downloads that I was getting. So I got it in 3 ways. It's an inner knowing of things, further downloads, and then doing the research to back it up. And that's how I was able to write this book.
Since when did you start having this download, Ismael?
Ever since I was a kid, perhaps 15, 16, 17, but my real awakening came at the age of 21. That's when I knew that I wasn't a human. That's when I knew that I was, a galactic here in human form.
Okay, can you share with us, like, how did you come to the point where you become aware that you're not the same as most people here, or you're different, you're not just human? And what's the difference between the human and those in the different universes? Well, how do we know? I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of questions. People are gonna go, what about me? How would I find out if I'm not human, or if I'm, because there's a lot of people that also feel like they're starseed or they're aliens,
And they are. One of the indicators is having a feeling of missing home from the beginning. From the moment you're aware of yourself, you realize that you don't fit in this dimension, that you're very, different, that you are, everything that they teach you, you feel a sense of inaccuracy. You don't really take it face value. So from the beginning, you question everything. And then another indicator is just not fitting in. Not fitting in schooling, in high school, being the odd person. Another indicator is, being labeled with ADD, ADHD, Asperger's, autism. So all those are different labels to describe the new breeds of higher evolved intelligences that are incarnating in human form at this time. So one of the distinctions between what I call the new soul to that of an old soul is the idea that the old souls have already completed the ascension process. They've already reached the highest levels of reality. They've graduated, and they just kind of volunteered to come back because Earth happens to be the most important planet. So they agree to come back to help the Earth, reach her ascension. And the new souls are in the 90% of the population. Those are the younger souls. Those are the souls that started their evolution from the bottom up. In other words, they were first a mineral, the consciousness of a mineral, and then they graduated to the consciousness of a plant, and then they graduate to the consciousness of the animal kingdom, and then finally they graduate to the consciousness of being human. And then the next stage of that is the angelic kingdom. So the old souls actually descended from the angelic kingdom. So there's you could also consider the star seeds angels, or angels and angeless, or gods and goddesses in human form. A lot of them which were incarnated during the times of Atlantis as high priest and high priestess, during the times of Lemuria as keepers and guardians of the stargates. And a lot of them also have come from the higher dimensions of reality, like from Sirius, the Pleiadians, Lyra, Arcturus, and even beyond the local universe. So that is the difference between an old soul that is considered a starseed and a newbie soul that consists of 90% of the population.
So you mentioned that the old souls they're volunteer to come down here to help the Earth to ascend.
Correct.
What's going to happen to the Earth? I mean, from you probably have some sort of understanding or knowledge there. With the chaos we have right now, people is going to question, like, what's going to happen to the Earth? Is this the reason why all these old souls are being incarnated? What do they have to do? Things like that, because I came across a lot of people on this path and this journey, and I kept hearing about that they're holding a light, or they're here to change the Earth, or whatever. What can you share?
They're acting as anchor points of the great central sun. The high gamma ray frequencies that are coming via our sun, that are stemming or generating from the central core of a galaxy, coming in via our sun into our planet, is giving us a new frequency of reality known as the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional levels of reality. And so the star seeds are the anchor points of that. They are the ones that are holding the frequency for the collective in order to shift the entire planet into are you there, into the new the new world age, or the age of Aquarius. And so we are the helpers. We are the ones that decided to come and be the anchor points in order to restore the Earth back to her original glory as it was before it fell into densities or dimension.
So what are you here to do? Why are you born here? Because you said you're not from here, correct?
Correct. Yes. I'm here to assist in the ascension of the planet and bring forth awareness to the collective. And that's the reason why I wrote my book, was to kind of also awaken the star seeds as a reminder to their mission, and also as a way to trigger them in a sense where they remember why they came to this earth as way showers, as beacons of light for the rest of the human collective.
So you mentioned about star seeds. What are the star seeds? I mean, I understand some of this stuff that you talk about, but for the listeners, I would like for you to share with that. How do they know if they're star seeds, and what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, star seeds are souls that have already completed the ascension process. They're coming from the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, and 12, and some are even coming from the 13th dimension. And their purpose is to help bring the Earth back into her proper place in the galactic community. Because the Earth was unfortunately taken over during the times of Atlantis by the fallen ones, or what we call the regressive aliens, that infiltrated us and kind of took over the affairs for the Earth. But the higher ups knew that their time was limited. And so now now that we're ending the great cycle, they know that their time is up. And so the starseeds are here to win the final victory against darkness and usher in the age of light, or the golden era.
Oh, the great age of Aquarius. A lot of people talking about that too, the same thing, correct? So
Correct,
this group of aliens you were talking about just now, who are they?
Well, the name of the regressives that took over Atlantis were known as the Draco reptilians. And the Draco reptilians have been the reason why there's been so much chaos and wars throughout our galaxy, not only in our Milky Way galaxy, but in other galaxies.
Mhm.
And so they're also considered the fallen angels, the children of Lucifer. So what we have here is we have two types of ETs. We have the galactic humans, which I reveal in my book, which stem from the lineage of Michael and Lyra. And then we also
Angel
have
Michael. Mhm.
Angel Michael. And then we also have the Draco reptilians, Hydra reptilians, and Siakar reptilians who stem from the lineage of Lucifer. So throughout the history of the universe, our local universe, the battle has been against the children of Lucifer in the form of the Draco reptilians. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. So you mentioned that this is the timing of ending of this group that's been on this earth for a long, long time and create a lot of chaos. That's what I just kind of questioned the listener from the beginning. You know, what's going to happen to the earth here with all this chaos? It has been a lot of chaos for a long time now.
Yes, the earth is going to be purged upon the solar flash, the great solar flash.
Mhm.
That has also been predicted. And so the forces of darkness were actually pinned. They were pinned down here in our solar system long ago by the Galactic Federation, because they knew that at the end of the cycle, upon the solar flash, that they would be destroyed. And so that's what we're going to be witnessing any day now.
Okay, so any day now, give us the time frame. Are we supposed to be seeing this? Are we seeing this just like the being's going to be here, or they already existed within the human form? Perhaps.
It's going to be a spiritual, mental, and physical event. Yes, it's already happening in the spiritual realm and in the mental realm. Many of us are already ascended into the fifth dimensional reality, but we haven't taken our bodies yet because we're waiting for that final release of the sun to transform our DNA and activate the dormant DNA so that we could become upgraded. So as I speak, at the cellular level, we're all becoming upgraded right now, but there's going to be different levels of upgrades. Not everybody's going to be at the same level of power. For the majority, which is 90% of the population who are the newbies or the earth souls that are new, younger souls, they're going to be using about 5 to 6 strands of DNA, but they're also going to live for a few hundred years, and then they're going to, because we're going to have free energy technologies and cures for everything, they're going to be able to live a life without any illnesses, without any diseases, and be part of a golden age. Now, the next level or the next stage of upgrades is going to be with the star seeds. The star seeds are going to be able to use 12 strands of DNA, which is going to give them access to supernatural powers. Some are going to be telekinetic, some are going to be telepathic, similar to the X-Men, among other, spiritual powers. And then there's going to be another level beyond them, where the core of the star seeds, who are the most advanced souls in the multiverse, are going to be like very powerful. They're going to have all the powers you could think of. And those are the people that are going to be in charge, not only of the new earth, but of the new universe, the new cosmos to come from this earth. So it's all being prepared for that.
Wow.
Everything's developing. Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about 12 strands. That's what we came in with.
Yes, originally we had 12
now we all
strands.
know it's a seven strand or 6-7 strand of DNA chakras. That's the same thing, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So we lost that, and now it's coming back. And what's the timeline? How many years from now that you see this is going to be happening, changing to the humankind?
Between now and 2024. So within less than 2 years, we're going to be able to witness this shift, this radical change that's going to change everything.
Wow. This is actually exciting to hear this. So I know that I met you at the conference, and then someone asked you about if the aliens gonna show up, because I know a lot of talk about that. When are they gonna show up?
Between now and 2024, they've already made arrangements to work on first contact. In fact, that's already happening from behind the scenes. There's within the highest levels of government, we've already made first contact in the 1950s. So because these certain breakaway groups within our government who have also developed the alien tech have secretly gone out to the galaxy to establish bases and stations, and they in a way, have already contacted or made contact with the Galactic Federation. So for the last 70 years, the Galactic Federation and the Earth Alliance has been working in secret, and they've just been waiting for the collective mind of humanity to reach a level of understanding where everyone will be ready to understand that we are not alone in the universe. And so that time is now. They're waiting for that critical mass shift. And because there's an acceleration of consciousness on the planet that is taking place right now, it's going to hit a critical point where, like the Maharishi effect, it's going to cause an entire shift of everybody to be ready and to really understand, that what it's like to be part of a galactic community. So that's going to be happening any day now.
So when you talk about government, which government is it? Is it United States government?
The major
Because it seems like
governments
a
of the
mess
world,
right now with the other
yeah.
government.
Yeah, well, the visible governments are just surface governments. There's various levels beyond the visible government that go into the secret government of the secret societies that have actually already made contact with several ET groups. So you have the dark, the Luciferian branch known as the Cabal, and their superiors have been the Draco reptilians. And they received the technology by the Draco in the 1950s. And then we also have the white hats who are fighting the Cabal. And the white hats also received alien technology by the Galactic Federation in the 1960s in order to counteract the other alliances that took place between the Cabal and the Draco. So the technology is already in place. We have everything, every cure. We have med beds, we have 0-point gravity energy, we have replicators, we have portal time travel, all that stuff we have within the private sector. So upon the ascension and upon first contact, all that technology will be released to the Earthlings.
Oh, wow. Well, let's say people who have illness right now, because you mentioned about no illness with all this technology, and there's a lot of people with illness right now, right? Especially with the COVID, we have this in the past couple of years. You said that this technology will be able to reverse all this illness on
Absolutely.
human.
Cure anything at will. Yes.
Wow. So this is going to destroy all the insurance company and all.
Well, the
Right?
insurance companies and the pharmaceutical cartel and the American Medical Association are all part of the Cabal-run structure. So all that is coming to an end.
I believe that too. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not about helping people at all. Wow. So how would one know, Ismael, that what do people need to do right now in order to prepare for this ascension or for these changes? Because the idea for most people to think or to hear that the alien's going to be here by 2014, for some people it's exciting to even witness that. But for many, because a lot of people don't believe in the existence of other world, other universe, another existence. Many human may be kind of scared. Is it what could happen in this coming years that you mentioned?
Yes. Well, when disclosure takes place, there's going to be different levels of disclosure. The first level of disclosure is going to be revealing the crimes against humanity done so by the Cabal. And then the second level of disclosure will be dealing with releasing the advanced interstellar technology to the rest of the human population by the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation. And then the third level of disclosure is first contact. Well, I guess those two go together, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the third level of disclosure is also teaching and releasing the information about the galactic history, about our true origin, that we were seeded here by many extraterrestrial races, which is totally going to obliterate organized religion and the scientific community. It's all going to be done with when all this comes to light. And so for many people who are not ready for this type of information, there will be some sort of cognitive dissonance, in a sense where they're going to be a little shocked, but then their body then they're going to be able to understand. That's why all this corresponds with the Great Solar Flash, because the Great Solar Flash is also going to act as a trigger for people to be aware and really raise their consciousness to the level that, hey, everything we've been taught is wrong, and we're now seeing things for what they really are. So it's all going to happen at the same time. So it's going to be a huge quantum leap when this all
No,
happens.
God, I mean, this is going to be fascinating. To me, it's fascinating, you know, to a lot of people. I mean, listen to this, you're going to be quite open-minded. I think it's kind of same thing, like Ismael, about 20 years ago when I heard about conspiracy theory. And I was like, hell, no way. I go, this is crazy. And David Icke was the first person that I bought the book and read about his stuff. And he talks about reptilian. He talks about all this. One of them I remember clearly was about, what's his name, Epstein, that has an island, and
Yes.
years ago I was like, no way, but I
Pedophile island,
was
yeah.
open-minded enough to kind of continuously listen to whatever that comes into my way. I have people that show me, I never said no. And this is the reason I'm sharing this guy is because when we're listening to things like this, as is to Ismael talking, be open-minded, because we need to become aware whether or not you believe in this stuff. Be open-minded, because like right now, a few years ago when I heard about Epstein that got in jail, because of trafficking, I said to my friend, he's gonna die in jail. He's gonna get killed. And the day after that, it was on the news. You see? So
Well,
because
they actually faked his death. He's being protected because they were trying to they were trying to suppress all the people that were associated with Pedophile Island. And a lot of those people, unfortunately, were big name celebrities, and a lot of politicians that we entrusted, like the Clintons, the Obamas, the Bushes, they were all part of that.
yeah, I mean,
and every president.
yeah, well, he mentioned all the names, and 20 years ago I was like, no way, impossible. Our government would. And now the list came out and all these things. If you listen to the whole thing for so many years, being open-minded, you can actually see the whole picture. It's just like you're on top of the mountain, you can look down and you can see the whole picture now. Like, wow, you know what? This thing can be real now.
Yeah,
It's not conspiracy, it's actually true. It
very
just,
true.
when you listen to it, it's hard to believe because we were so programmed to think certain way, believe certain way, right?
Mhm.
And to listen and hear something that's out the norm, it's very hard for a lot of people to really, grasp the idea. So now, what will happen when they show up? Would they show up in the space aircraft or just being amongst human form?
Well, first, they're going to allow their ships to appear on a mass scale, huge motherships, which are already parked in our atmosphere, waiting for the solar flash to destroy the veil and allow people's consciousness to be raised to the fourth and fifth dimension level of reality. So once the people's consciousness are in the fourth and fifth dimension level of reality, then that's when people are going to see the motherships for the first time.
Wow.
And when they see the motherships, people are going to feel a sense of warmness because they're going to realize that those motherships have always been here protecting and guiding the evolutionary progress of humanity from behind the scenes.
Wow. Can you share with the listener what's the fourth and fifth dimension is and what we're supposed to feel being in that, section of that dimension?
Okay, so the current dimension that we're in, known as the third dimension, this is the most hardest dimension to experience, the densest, where everything is separated, everything seems to be solid. And it's also the dimension where the opposites are constantly at odds, polarity, duality. So the fourth dimension is bringing the opposites back into balance. It is the dimension of love because it also corresponds to the heart chakra. And so the fifth dimension is the unity consciousness. So once one realizes that everything is one, interconnected, and we live in a interconnected ecosystem and cosmos, then people begin to realize that we're all part of a bigger organism. And that is called unity consciousness or Christ consciousness. And that is the fifth dimension. And then in the sixth dimension, after we've realized that everything is one and we're all interconnected through this energy field known as the field or the unified field, then people begin to realize that they're all different aspects of the one singular consciousness. So they begin to become part of a unimind. And according to the raw material, that unimind is also known as a social memory complex. So at the sixth dimensional level of reality, we become a collective while maintaining our individual awareness.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is like mind blowing. So let's say, when I was young, I was always wondering where we're from, where do we come from and what's the purpose of our life? This is when I was a little girl. And at this point in my life, I start seeing my parents gone from me, and even some people, especially with the COVID, I almost died myself almost a couple of years ago. And I thought about death, what would happen when human person pass on into a different place? Do we go back into where we're from? Is that what it is? Do you know anything about that, Isabel?
It's just a transition into a different dimension. That's all death is. Yeah, because we had to die in the higher dimensions in order to reincarnate in this third dimension, in this low dimension. So as we ascend, if we don't make the ascension, like say if somebody dies before the solar flash, before the shift into the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional level of reality, then all they do is they just reincarnate, depending on whether they learned all their lessons in the third dimension or whether they didn't. Because if they didn't, then they're going to have to reincarnate in another Earth-like planet that is still undergoing a third dimensional reality in order to continue learning the lessons. And then but if they mastered the third dimension, if they learn their lessons, then they go up to the fourth dimension, and then they learn how to master the fourth dimension to eventually go to the fifth dimension. So that's how it works. There's no death, because these are just avatars. We're dealing with an eternal spirit,
right?
That is just gaining experience through the various incarnations.
So you mentioned that humans going to be living a lot longer, over 100 years.
Yes, at least 90% of the population. Yes,
and when
the
is
star
that?
seeds are going to be living for thousands of years. They're going to appear to be immortals to the majority of the humans after the ascension.
That's interesting when you say that, because part of the Bibles, they talk about some of these prophets live up to like 500 years, 1,000 years, and I said, well, if they can live up to that long, what happened now? Most people die less than 100 years old. So are we kind of going back into that?
Yes, we are. We're going to go back to how it was during ancient times, where we had mortals, we had demigods, wizards, or part mortal, part immortal, and then we're going to have like immortals.
Wow. So the origin of the earth, is it starting from Lumerus and Atlantis time, or Egyptian time? Because I think those are all about the same existence, right? Timeline.
Well, that was the Earth in its original fifth dimensional state of reality. Yes, it existed as Tara. It was known as Tara before it became Earth. But even before Tara, the Earth was once in the eighth dimension, and it was known as Gaia. And even before that, it once existed in the 12th dimension, and it was known as Arimatina. But its origin began in the central universe of Hevana, which is the eternal spheres, where the Earth was known as Sophia. The original Earth began in the realms of eternity, which was then known as Sophia. It was a 50-dimensional, all-eternal paradise. And then from the original state of pure consciousness, Sophia, in order to experience more of itself, became the 12-dimensional Earth known as Arimatina. And then through further descending, or what I call in my book, the involutionary process of spirit descending into matter or becoming more denser, it gradually descended into the eighth dimension, becoming Gaia, and then it fell into the fifth dimension, becoming Tara, and then finally it's Earth as we know it in the third dimension. But now it's bouncing back up. Now we're entering the Tara Earth, which occupies dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So upon the ascension, there's going to be 4 different levels of reality, fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions coexisting all at the same time.
Oh God, this is like, I mean, for a lot of people, it's quite complex, I'm sure. This is, but fascinating at the same time, Ismael. And I'm going to ask you, what would you advise people to do right now, to be prepared for this ascension, or prepare for all this big changes of, the aliens coming here, the good aliens, right? I would assume
right, of
good
course,
aliens.
yes.
Those are helping humanity. What would you recommend, advise people to do? Well, one of them I know, pick up your book. Guys, pick up his book and read about it, because that's a lot. You can only talk so much on this talk show, right? Our Cosmic Origin by Ismael Perez on Amazon.com. I already picked up mine, but Anyway, but there's so much that he talks about, and some people are probably going to scratch their head and like, what is that, right? But if you want to know more about it, please pick up the book and read about it. And like, back to the question, what would you suggest people to do to prepare for this right now?
Go within,
Mhm.
be centered and grounded, and also try to practice a state of mindfulness and just be aware of things, observe things, and also don't partake of the negative timeline or of the negative propaganda that is going around with fear tactics and false information. Many people are preaching doomsday and stuff. That's not going to happen. Maybe in their reality, but not in our reality, because there will be a bifurcation of timelines. So those that are ascending in the positive timeline will no longer experience any suffering, death, or anything. They're going to be experiencing a new heaven on earth, as revealed in my book.
Amen. New heaven on earth. I love that. And I just want to add into that, if you wanted to be ready into this new world, new life, new experience, and live longer, takes care of your health, takes care of your body, takes care of your mind. It's all important. It's about mind, body, and soul. All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Take care of your health, especially right now. Go work out, connect with yourself, like what Ismael, mentioned, brought it up. It's very helpful information. And wow, with that said, Ismael, we're just coming to a conclusion of this talk. And I mean, there's so much that you can share. I would love to invite you back again and share some more stuff. I got your book already. I just kind of have to read more about it. It's
sure.
quite
Maybe next time I could talk about the galactic history of the galactic wars that were fought millions of years in our galaxy.
Oh my God. Yes, please, please, please. So I'm going to bring him back, guys. All right. Because you're going to be, I may even do live so people to come and ask questions about all that as well. Sounds good.
Yeah. But all that information and more is revealed in our cosmic origin. So if you guys want to understand the next level disclosure beyond, government ET treatises and advanced alien technology, I would suggest ordering my book so that you could have a higher level understanding of our origin in the cosmos and Earth's relationship to the multiverse.
No, look, I'm going to share on my desktop here. I only want to open up this Amazon.com and show you a book. See this guy? Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
There you go. So
thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's why I ordered Kindle. So, Our Cosmic Origin by Ismael Perez, and you can order in paperback or Kindle. All right, guys. So this is it. As easy as that, because his book, you can just get so much information, and he's going to come back again, share all this amazing stuff to everyone. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you Ismael for being here and sharing with us this fascinating information, because this is such a powerful information that you share, and it's fascinating. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you very much being here. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, hello everyone, meet Tina here. How's everyone's doing? Well, guess who's back in the house? Ismael Perez. Yeah. Just in case if some of you do not know him, he has written this book. Go ahead and say that, Ismael. Say that, you better.
Our Cosmic Origin.
There you go. Now, before I let him speak, I'm going to show you guys his book on Amazon.com right now. So here it is. The word that I couldn't say it out earlier, Our Cosmic Origin. There you go. My brain just went blank earlier. So here you go. His book is amazing. You guys go and grab it now. He has in both paperback and also Kindle. Okay. So, all right, let's hear it from Ismael. Hello, Ismael. How are you doing?
I'm great, Tina. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, and happy Sunday to you and to everyone who's listening here. So anyway, I know you got so much information that you channeled since you were a little boy, and it took you about 10 years to write this book, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So I know there's a lot of information, and so many people are interested in these stories and what's going on here. So I would like you have a lot to share. So I'm going to ask you to come back often and share bits and pieces of it, But what would you like to share with us today, Ismael?
Well, I would first like to address the issue of Project Bluebeam, do with the last attempt by the cabal to impose a one world government by hologram technology.
Ismael, come a little closer to the phone if you can. Yeah.
By
There
using
you go.
Sure. By using hologram technology in a way where they're going to an invasion, but something about that plan that they were trying to execute is no longer in progress anymore, because the cabal actually lost the war in space by the good guys, the Guardian Alliance of the Earth and the Federation.
So you talk about the cabal lost the war.
They lost the war in space, yeah.
So does that mean that's gonna affect how it's happening in our Earth as well, too? Correct?
Yes. It's going to trickle down, and we're going to results pretty soon. Any day now. We're waiting for that announcement. So the good news is that the Earth is no longer under the control of the cabal. What we used to be a planet for thousands of years, under the direction of the regressive negative aliens, that's no longer the case. The regressive negative aliens, such as the Draco, the Zetas, and the Greys, have been eliminated by the Earth Alliance, the Guardian races, and the Galactic Federation. They have been working, very effortlessly and diligently to bring about a liberation. And so that's what's actually happening right now. Many people are scared that the cabal might use their Project Blueberry usher in a new world order, and that's not the case, because all that advanced alien technology has been taken away from them. They no longer have access to the holographic, advanced technology. They were stripped all their power. So what we're witnessing is a changeover of power from the Dark Hats or the cabal to the White Hats.
So who stripped the power from them?
The Guardian races, the Earth Alliance Federation. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say this has happened in the universe right now, correct?
Well, it's happening here in our solar system.
Okay.
Have been going on here in our solar system for over 60 years, but that war has as of 2015.
2015, you said.
2015, 2000. The good guys, the Earth Alliance with the Federation, were to back the solar system from the Dark Fleets and from the IPC, which is the Planetary Corporate Conglomerate, which was a malevolent secret space program that was run by the cabal up until maybe a few years ago. But
sorry to interrupt you. The sound still kind of go in and out for some reason. So it's kind of cut off here, cut off there a little bit. So I wonder if there is something we could do. Yeah. I'm like getting your face. You're probably gonna have to put your face right in front of the camera here. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ismael. Sorry about that.
Okay, so the malevolent secret space programs known as the Dark Fleets, the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, have been defeated about 6 years ago. So right now we're in the aftermath of that, a victory. So any day now, there should be an announcement. There should be some sort of an EBS that's going to be executed by the White Hats and the Earth Alliance that will let everybody know what's going on for the last thousands of years on the Earth. So with that's going to come disclosure of ETs, Galactic Federation, alien technologies that the sector has been using for over 6 years. And all that technology, which is, I guess, been a very efficient clean up our atmosphere to bring Earth to all illnesses and all diseases, is going to be restored to the Earth.
Now, you said that they're going to make an announcement. Who will make that announcement? The White House or the government?
Yes. The good guys in government, the ones that are opposing the cabal for 60 years.
So can you tell us who's a good? I always see government as It's hard to trust any of them, right? You can see the left and the right, and I don't want us to get into politics here. The current government, are they supposed to be a good guy for humanity here?
Well, the current government's proxy government. It's a quasi government, fake election. You know, they're not really operating a constitution. So there's forms of government. There's the republic, which is Trump. Trump's still president of the constitutional republic, and then there's the quasi government that is led by Biden, who's working. So it's that government is going to, because they don't have nothing to stand on anymore.
It's gonna fall, you said.
Yes, and the good guys, the Earth Alliance, are going to be, they're going to emerge and release all the information to the general public.
Wow. And now, what would happen if they're, well, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a transition of, if they happen to fall, how's that going to affect people across the globe here, especially in the United States?
Well, the world economy, the Western economy, based on the dollar, which was controlled by the Federal Reserve and the systems, that's all, and it's going to collapse any day now. It's actually, we're going to experience a transition from that type of money system to a new money that is beneficial to all of humanity.
So what is the new money system that's coming out here?
It's well, it's headed by the programs of NESERA, which is the National Economic Security and Reformation, and GESERA, which is the Global Economic Security and Reformation. And those are the programs that implemented by White Hats in an effort to eradicate and do away with the current currency, which only served to enslave masses. So those programs are going to be implemented once the economy collapses, and those programs are going to bring all that wealth to the general public. It's going to take the wealth and it's going to distribute that wealth to the population when the announcements take.
So you said the wealth going to be distributed among general population.
Exactly, because the elites have stole trillions of dollars from us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I believe that. Yes. It's been too long. Yes.
So now are coming back to us. So everyone's going to be a millionaire tonight when this happens.
Hallelujah. Everybody's going to love it. Everybody's going to love life like that. I can't wait until that change though. So what timeline, you said any day now, what timeline do you think is going to be? I mean, how would we see that hints or or the sequence or the in the things that's going on right now? What would be a marker of telling us this is just about to happen?
Well, the indicators are already there. A lot of it is taking place behind the scenes, but it's already starting to, including the media is going to be under the control of the White House. I think that's going to happen sometime this month. So I say by no later.
And when?
This change in world economic will happen by no later this summer.
No later than, can you repeat that? Because I know we get cut off a little bit, but I can understand you. So I'm sure everyone's understand him too, because we're all going to be having our ears perked up and trying to figure out what you said. But you said no later than when?
It's summer.
In this summer?
Yeah. So it's going to happen any day.
Are you serious, Ismael? Wow.
Because what's happening, Tina, is that we have ETs, representatives of the Galactic Federation, that are all involved, that they've created. Our government's been doing that since the 40s and 50s. Ever since we blew up the atomic bomb, ever since we did that, the benevolent races, the Federation and other benevolent races have been here, and that they've been making sure that we don't blow ourselves up. So they've been working from behind the scenes, so they also infiltrated the UN, they infiltrated the cabal, and that's why the victory is now in favor of the light, because of that infiltration.
Wow. You know what? You're not the only person I heard it. Even because I'm into astrologies too. So I even heard that from so many different astrologers talk about how there's going to be big change or even collapse with the government. And so I think with the word collapse would, of course, concern a lot of people, especially those who are listening here. It's like, well, what's going to happen to our life? But is this actually going to be better for a general population, right?
Correct. Yes.
Wow. So what else would you like to share with us besides that? Because I'm looking forward to the summertime now.
Oh, interesting. Some like no other.
Right. Well, definitely this is going to be a different. Now, what would you recommend general population to do or to how to prepare with this situation?
To be grounded, to have, because it's going to talk to most people, because most people have, due to the extraordinary break, it's going to be coming to find out all this stuff that they never knew when stuff comes to the forefront. So many people are going to be, taking it very hard. It's going to be hard for them to digest all the revelations that are coming.
So that's going to be a revelation. That's what you mentioned, right? With all this happening, because it's not going to go smooth at first from what yes.
There's going to be riots, a lot of people that are going to be confused, and because their entire belief systems that they've been taught childhood is about to shatter when the announcement.
Right.
So a lot of people are I'm digesting all of this, and so we don't know how they're going to react. That's the only thing.
Wow. So with what you just said, I mean, definitely it's going to be a big shock for most people, of course, who never heard of this before. Never heard anything like this. Let's say this is the first time you guys listen to this and never knew about this. This might be like hard to believe, or I mean, I've heard about all this stuff, for many, many years now. But now let me ask you, you're talking about different currencies going to be coming out instead.
Correct.
What do you think of cryptocurrency? Is that going to be the kind of currency that's not at all? Okay.
Crypto's been, the cabal's plan to switch this into a digital economy. That was a part of the World Economic System that was the World Economic Forum. So that's also going to cost. So everyone that's in crypto and Bitcoin, it's best that they pull out now, because they're going to lose everything when there's.
Really? Oh wow! I got some in it. So maybe when I start pulling it.
You're going to lose all your money.
Oh, wow. So what should be what would be your recommendation for people to prepare with their saving of money, especially those who's the elders? I mean, I feel so bad for them saving up all their life or a retirement plan. I'm sure that would be out too, right?
Not necessarily, because all that's going to be replaced by the economic system that is going to distribute all the wealth back to the people. So the elders, every human being on the planet is going to be wealthy when these announcements take place. All that back to the people. So the old program been working to make coming to an end as a result of that. So it's going to usher in a whole new world. And this corresponds to the ancient prophecies of the age of Aquarius and a new golden age.
Yes.
So the economic transfer from the old, bell-run central banking system to the new currency backed by gold and silver will usher in, the beginning of a whole new era for humanity here on the earth.
I mean, I just don't see how those people's going to give up easily. This wealth and the power they have accumulated for so many generations. How would that happen?
They're being cornered. They've already lost the power. They no longer, and that's why this economic collapse needs to happen. Because that's going to be the collapse of this, money slavery system that they've been implementing for many years. So they've already been warned. All your supplies, all your resources, all your technologies, all your power has been stripped from you. You guys have nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. You guys are going to be facing tribunals, and it's going to be shown everywhere. We're going to be seeing these revelations, these crimes against humanity that were conducted by these people be exposed to the masses. And when people find out that even 9/11 was an inside job,
Yes.
that the Oklahoma City bombing was an inside job, that the Clintons were a big part of it, it's all going to hit the fan. Like I said, many people are going to be shocked with some of the revelations that are about to be disclosed. Especially when they hear about the androchrome and the child trafficking and
Oh my God, yes.
huge.
Huge.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. And that's
Yes.
and a lot of organizations were part of that. A lot of these so-called born-again Christian run pastor churches, they've all been involved. In fact, some of these organized so-called, I guess some of them are called they're called New Hope, or there's different names for them. But some of them that were used as a way to take some of these kids. Yeah, some of these.
Wow, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gotta end. So what about big thing is health insurance and pharmaceutical company, all that stuff? That's also part of the cabal system as well, correct?
Correct. And that's going to collapse too.
So when that's collapsed, wow, that's going to be kind of confusing for the medical system or the hospital to care for people who's having a help at the moment, right?
Medical system has also been controlled by the cabal or run
Yes.
by. So we're going to change everything to a better system. Instead of using pharmaceuticals, after the collapse of the old world order, emergence of the new medicine, natural homeopathic medicine. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah. Wow. Because, I just had a conversation with some friends about this too, that, I mean, all the health system that we have here, the medicines, everything is only killing us, all the
Right.
surgery, which is not necessary at all. And we're just dying from all this. We're just paying all these medical bills and pharmaceutical company just to keep us sick for the rest of our life. And I would love to see the changes in that. Totally. Wow. So now so you say it's going to happen this summer?
It should happen by no later than summer because of this huge shift that's coming either this month or the end of this month. But we're expecting a huge energetic shift, a blast from the sun that is going to bring us into a better positive timeline as a result of this shift that's coming.
Mhm.
And it has to do with the gamma radiation that's coming in from our sun, from the galactic core.
So you're saying that the changes will be energetic shift first?
Yes, first it's going to take energetic sub-levels of reality, and then it's going to take.
Can you repeat that, please? The last word that you said, the last sentence.
It's going to first take place level, and once the vibration is shifted, it's going to also manifest.
You sound kind of in and out, but that's okay. I'm trying to kind of get your information here. We have a little bit of interruption. Maybe the cabal doesn't want us to hear Ismael talk.
No, we'll no longer control the airwaves.
That's right. That's right. So now, energetically it's happening this coming months. So I know it takes a little longer for the physical events to happen. So when do you see that happen? The revolution, that's what I meant. The revolution, because that might be the beginning of it. Mm-hmm.
Probably by summer, we're going to see something big taking place. That's going to change everything.
Wow. Ismael, everyone's listening is going to be holding on to you for that to happen.
Well, like in my book, I predicted by no later than 2024. So I'm just saying that, but based on the energetic frequency and the shift in vibration here taking place, it looks like it's going to happen by summer. But if it doesn't happen by summer, I guarantee you that it'll happen before 2024.
Okay. Wow. You know what? It sounds kind of scary a little bit, but at the same time, I cannot wait to happen, really, because I do see a lot of unfairness to humanity, and I would like to see a big change in that, in the government structure, in the health, and just about everything in our life.
Mhm.
So, anything else, Ismael, that would you like people to know besides, what you just shared with us?
Sure. I want people to know that whole war about and between the white hats is a proxy war, a rather small reflection of a greater war that has been going on in our galaxy for millions and millions and millions of years between the galactic humans, our ancestors, and the Draco reptilian forces of Orion. So that war has been won twice already by the good guys. The first time we won the war 2,000 years ago, and the second time we won the war was recently, 15, when certain members of the human race were genetically upgraded to become super soldiers and were off to Orion to re-win the war against the nation. So you can see that the Earth, the real heroes of that war, are the Earth's super soldiers that were genetically enhanced, upgraded to become superhuman. And so, of course, when they return them back to the Earth, they turn off that DNA that allows them to have superpowers. And we're talking about real superpowers like Avengers. So everything we watch in movies like is real.
Really?
Very real. Oh,
Wow. You know what? I kind of thought about that too, because I thought about so many movies out there. They could be real. It's not imagination or fake. And so if they were those Avengers or superpower, when they come back here, they're supposed to turn off those power and not letting other people know.
yes, because it's part of the secret. They're not allowed to emerge yet for Flash. Once the solar flash kicks in, that's going to reactivate their DNA that allows them to have superpowers. But it's not just going to be for the super. It's going to be for the star seeds. The star seeds are also going to become superhuman when the solar flash takes place.
So what's the difference between the star seed and those who have superpowers? Are they different?
No, they're exactly the same thing. The only difference is that the super soldiers were genetically enhanced by advanced alien technology by the good guys, of course, in order to go fight the galactic wars. Yeah.
So would you know, or have you come across anyone who are a super soldier?
I've not in person. I've soldiers based on their them coming forward, becoming whistleblowers. But as far as like knowing super soldiers in person, never met one.
Mm-hmm. Good. What about, so you consider yourself star seeds, right?
I myself a star seed, correct.
Mm-hmm. So, would you consider all humans are star seed, or they're not? I'm just curious about that.
A few million.
So what's the difference? I mean, what are the purpose of people who are star seeds here, and what's the difference between those who are not star seeds?
The people that are not star seeds are new souls.
Okay, I got it. You mentioned that last time too, right?
Correct. And the people that are star seeds are very old advanced that decide the choice to descend back into the dimension. Yeah, they come from not only the fifth dimension, but they come all the way from 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we also have even more advanced souls that come from the realm of eternity that are considered the highest advanced souls in the entire cosmos. And there's only about 100 of those souls that are also in human form. And those are going to be the most powerful ones when the ascension takes place.
How did you get all this information, Ismael? I'm fascinated by this. Yeah. When did you get this information?
Pretty much had an understanding. A lot of it became solidified when I started investigating things and doing my research. That's when I
Mhm.
confirm a lot of these downloads that I was getting. And I guess I could confirm that, I am a very highly,
Highly what? Say that again.
I am a very, very highly evolved being. Comes from very high dimensions. So I came in fully as a human when I first was born here on this earth.
Were you fully aware when you were first born? Like at what age that you were fully aware that you are
At the
from?
age of four, I became aware that I wasn't from this earth.
So you knew that you weren't from here at age of 4.
About 4 and 5, yeah.
Wow. Now let me ask you, during that timeline, that age in 4 and 5, did you have any sort of extraterrestrial or miraculous experiences during that time? Seeing thing or meeting any beings, things like that?
No, I just was able to see things for what they were, to read energy, pick up on vibration, tap into people's thoughts, read plants, animals.
You do all that, so you can read people's vibration and thoughts too?
Yes, if I want to, yes.
Oh wow, that's actually you without training, learning all that.
No, it's just something that was innate in me. I was born like that. Maybe I
Yeah.
used DNA. So I don't know. I never. So I always knew I was different.
Yeah. So and then you were called to write this book to share with the world.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this was a revelation of knowledge, restored back to the by the High Council. And I was just an instrument, so to bring forth this information.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing, and actually beautiful work, actually. I want to thank you so much. I wanted to keep this longer, but because of the sounds, it's not quite clear. So we're gonna kind of end it here because we get a lot of information here too. However, I'm gonna bring you back like every month if you're okay with that.
Sure. Yeah, we could do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people, I get people like, wow, he's so fascinating. I even have a couple ladies call me and say, hey, you know what? I just felt connected with this guy, what he talks about, and I said, hey, you go to his Instagram to follow you. So you guys, I got Ismael information under description, the link, Amazon link to his book. Please pick it up because you're going to enjoy it a lot. And also you can follow him on Instagram as well, because I know that you always come on, on a video and talks about that too. And you get a lot of information.
Right.
Sounds good, Ismael?
Thank you, Tina.
No, thank you for being here. And, definitely, hopefully next time we don't have this cabal trying to like not allowing you to talk.
I'll get it. We all get
Yes. That would be good. That'd be good. Because I know some people will have a hard time trying to figure out what you talk about. I got what you said, there's some a few words that I kind of have to have you repeat. However, I know there's still quite a lot of information that you got with how they're going to reveal all this information, what's going to happen. So I want to thank you so much for sharing this information, because I think it's exciting to, even though we're gonna have to go through the rough time first with revelation and all these big changes, but that's going to be great for all humankind down the road. That's what we are fighting for. So with that said, Ismael, thank you so much for being here. And we're going to bring you back again. Guys, thank you so much for listening in. And, follow him on Instagram. I'm going to write his IG account down below and his book as well. You're going to get a lot more information with the book. Until then, subscribe, click like, and please share this video with everyone. Just spread the word of love and light. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ismael. Oh, hello, Meet Tina here. Welcome to my show or to my talk. Today, I'm bringing back Ismael Perez. He's going to be talking about the origin of our cosmic. But however, today's going to be a different stuff they're going to be talking about, different topics.
Yes.
All right, let's dive into it, Ismael. Well, hold on. Before I let you talk, I'm going to share your book because that's very important, because a lot of people should not miss this. He's an author and he's a speaker. And this is his book on Amazon.com, guys. So Our Cosmic Origin, just go ahead and grab your copy. All right, it's on Amazon.com. And I'm going to post the link to his book, and then you can buy it. Okay, and then let's get started, Ismael. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here, Tina.
No, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. So one of the things that I wanted to share with people was the connection between the blood of King David and the King of Lyra, or the lineage of King David in relationship to the King of Lyra. So the battle between good and evil here in our world is associated around two particular bloodlines. One of them is known as the messianic lineage of priest kings that are considered, they call it the holy blood, the holy grail, the good guys, right? And the other one is a reptilian human hybrid lineage that came to us from Babylonia. And we could even trace it off world. So throughout history, the Cabal families that have been associated with the domination of the planet are the offspring or the descendants of the Babylonian human reptilian hybrid bloodline. So their enemy has always been the opposite bloodline, known as the bloodline of King David and Solomon from the Bible. Yeah. So the bloodline of King David is actually the same lineage that gave us Jesus and Mary Magdalene, or what we would know as the community of Qumran, the Essenes, who were the keepers of the mysteries and the divine wisdom during the times of Jesus. Jesus was actually the master of the order of the Essenes 2,000 years ago before his crucifixion. The order of the Essenes took that knowledge from an existing secret society that was practiced by King Solomon and David, which was known as the order of the right eye of Horus and the left eye of Horus, and also the order of Melchizedek. But all of these teachings you could actually trace back to ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, where it originated.
Right.
And so throughout history, the war between good and evil is really about the war between these two different lineages, the human reptilian hybrid Cabal lineage and the divine holy blood of the Holy Grail lineage. So one of the biggest secrets that the secret societies have been keeping from us is that the descendants of Jesus and Mary Magdalene do exist, and that they are well and alive, and they exist and they live among us. And one of the books that put that theory out, or that concept out, was the Da Vinci Code about 13 years ago. When Dan Brown wrote the Da Vinci Code, he wasn't talking about fiction. Even though he wrote it as fiction, it actually preluded to the idea that that this is actually real, that there is a holy blood, some sort of a lineage that could be traced to Jesus and Mary Magdalene. But this lineage goes further than Jesus and Mary Magdalene. To our surprise, and according to my research, this is actually the bloodline that was established on the earth by Zeus, the chief pantheon of the Greek gods, the chief leader of the Greek gods.
Yes.
Well, in the ancient culture, he was known by different names. The ancient Sumerians call him Enlil. The Greeks called him Zeus. And the Hebrews called him El, or Elion, which means the lion. And that's why the animal emblem of the lion has always been associated with the descendants of the lineage of Zeus. And we see that again in the concept of King David, right? The tribe of Judah, the Lion of Judah, Solomon, and then 600 years later, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, who were the descendants of the house of Judah, the real descendants of House of Judah, not the fake imposter Jews that call themselves Zionists today. Those aren't the real Jews. The Rothschilds and the Khazarian Zionist, Cabal, those are actually imposter Jews. They're trying to pose as the real descendants of the Holy Blood, because they know that they're part of the Babylonian reptilian human blood, and that includes the Queen of England and the Bushes and all the people that have been in power. They're all associated with the Babylonian lineage of the human reptilian hybrids.
So I would say the world leaders, right?
Pretty much, most of the world leaders, yeah, you could say that they're associated, or at least they work for those that carry a high concentration of reptilian human genetics. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so even the story of the Anunnaki was tampered with. The translation of the ancient Sumerian tablets by Zacharias Sitchin were wrong. Everything was accurate except the part where they said that Enlil was the bad guy and Enki was the good guy, when in actuality it was the other way around. And the only reason they translated and they flipped the story around is because the last of the documents that were left in ancient Sumeria that were dug out by the archaeologists were actually tampered with by the priesthood of Baal. And guess who Baal was, Tina?
Who?
Marduk, the son of Enki, Poseidon to the Greeks. Enki Poseidon, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so now we could see a correlation between the ancient Anunnakis and the gods of mythology.
Yeah, I heard about Anunnaki before, but I always thought Anunnaki was, well, they were bad guys.
No. That's another misconception. Not all
Right.
Anunnaki were bad. The good Anunnaki are actually known as the Enlilites and his children. Again, according to the Greeks, he was known as Zeus. According to the ancient Hebrews, he was known as El, or Elion, which was the protector of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay.
And so there was two factions associated with the Anunnaki family. You had the Enkites, the Enkinites, right? That were the people that pretty much rewrote his son Marduk rewrote the ancient Sumerian tablets to make him look like the good guy.
Right.
But those are really the bad guys. See, but Enki, who was known as Poseidon to the Greeks, didn't really, how can I say it? Yes, he was very instrumental in the genetic engineering of Homo sapiens, right? By mixing us with their genes and then mixing it with primitive genes and creating, a different species, right? But at the same time, what they failed to tell us is that they already, they took also genetics from an already existing species known as the Terranusian race that had 12 strands of DNA. And in order to dumb them down, they created a hybrid that was mixed with primitive genetics, and then that's how we were made. But our original ancestors were actually 12-strand DNA humanoids that lived in Atlantis.
So let me ask you, who are the primitives? Who are the primitive bloodline?
The primitives are the Homo erectus, Neanderthals, or Neanderthals, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Go on. I don't want to interrupt you. Just go on.
No, go ahead. I'll answer your question.
So like us here, are we a bloodline of the 12 strand and also the primitive bloodline?
Yes, as of 30,000 years ago, only the remnants of the original 12-strand DNA humanoids were able to survive, and the rest of them died out. So there were no primitives left, nor Neanderthals left after that.
I see.
They only, yeah. So
okay.
But the thing is, Tina, is that about 90% of the population was mixed with a little bit of the primitive gene, and that's what they call the Rh positive, or the rhesus monkey, the Rh positive blood type. So if you're A, B, or O, but you have a positive, not a negative, that means you, not unfortunately, but that means you carry a primitive genetic within your DNA. That's what that means.
If we're positive, right?
If you're A, B, or O positive, yes, you carry a similar genetic that is relatable to the chimpanzees and the monkeys. Yes.
Oh darn! So I was a descendant of that chimpanzee.
No, you're not. Remember, I was telling you how they took an already existing, fully functional 12-strand DNA angelic humanoid, and they downgraded them by mixing them with the primitive gene. So no, they just put a little bit of the primitive genes in your ancestors in order to kind of lower your level of intelligence. Because the negative Anunnaki, under the auspices of Enki and Marduk, his son, used those people as slaves during the ancient times.
Ah,
So
and what is your blood type?
I'm O negative.
Oh, you're negative. Oh, okay. Oh, it's good. Okay. So go on.
Okay, so going back to the story, the real story of the Anunnaki lies in the fact that everything we know about them is false. Enlil was not the bad guy, because
Mm.
according to the Greeks, he was Zeus. And who was Zeus? According to the stories of the mythologies, he was the chief guardian of the earth. He was protector, custodian of earth, leader of the Council of 12, or the pantheon of the 12 gods, and was in charge of making sure that the humans evolved accordingly to the divine plan. And he even stated that he wasn't a god, that he was just one of the guardians that was here representing the one God. And he called it the unseen God. That's what Enlil Jehovah Zeus called God, the unseen God, which was pure source energy.
So
Now,
who? Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go first. Go ahead.
So who's the real God then?
The real God that is above all extraterrestrials, including those that are above, the Syrian High Council, that was above the Anunnakis and the Iberians, and above the different levels of seraphim and celestials, is pure source. It's what we call prime source, creator source.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And what
an
about
energy
Jesus?
field.
What about Jesus?
Jesus was the incarnation of Michael. Michael is the overseer of our local universe. Every local universe has a Michael. Yeah. So in religious lore, he's known as Michael the Archangel. So that's what Jesus was. He came from his lineage, because Michael the Archangel was the progenitor of the lineage that gave us Zeus, and then Zeus gave birth to a demigod, and then those were the original Sumerian kings that lived for thousands of years, right, according to the records of the Sumerians.
Right.
And then from that, we had the father of whoever gave birth to Abraham, like the biblical Abraham. So Abraham came from the priest king lineage of Zeus, and then he gave birth to his descendant became King David. He carried the highest concentration of that guardian lineage, and then Solomon carried it. That's why Solomon was the wisest man in the world, and was the ultimate alchemist and wizard during those days. He was like a demigod, right? He used to enslave the demons of Goyish with his power ring of power. He used to put the demons to work, and all the demons used to fear Solomon. That's because he carried, he was known. The demons feared him because he was part of that lineage, and he had that power. And then later, through his descendants, Jesus was born into that same lineage. So Christ, Jesus, was the incarnated creator son of our local universe of Nebadon. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is quite amazing. So you mentioned about, he's rising again, the Lion King.
Yes, the Lion King is rising again through his descendants. So,
Okay.
yeah, the holy bloodline luckily was preserved by the Knights Templars, who were the good guys during the medieval Dark Ages, agents of the Brotherhood of Light, so that it is associated with the ancient order of Melchizedek, of the Emerald Order. And so the knights were the keepers and protectors of Mary Magdalene's lineage that later came to France after they sought refuge in India after the crucifixion. And then from India they came to France, and then from France they went to Spain and Portugal. And that's why when we study who carried the highest concentration of Rh negative blood type, a lot of it is traceable to the people of Spain, Portugal, and France, because of Jesus and Mary Magdalene's lineage.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
fascinating to know. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the rise of the king, the rise of the restoration of the kingdom of the lion has to do with the descendants of this bloodline who are well and alive, and who are, due to this transformation that is about to take place, they're going to be the most powerful people ever. They're going to have these amazing godlike superpowers, whoever they are, because it's in their blood. They carry.
So may I ask you, do you know who they are? In this right now, in this existence, or you just have the awareness of knowing who they are?
I just have the awareness, and also we have to keep them a secret until the solar flash. Once the solar flash takes place and we all become upgraded, right? There's going to be different levels of upgrades depending on your level of frequency. these are going to, these people are going to be the most powerful ones. Yeah, they're going to be like superhumans, like supermans.
So who are going to be? No wonder it's all these Marvel movies. So
Exactly.
who,
Yeah.
right? Who are being upgraded? Every single human on this earth, or just star seeds?
Every single human that makes the shift, at least into the fourth dimensional Earth.
Mm.
And they're going to be up. There's going to be different levels of upgrade, Tina. There's going to be the majority of the people that are considered young souls or Earth Terrans, non-star seeds, are going to be going into the fourth dimensional Earth. So they're still going to, be mortal. They're just going to live for 300 years. Their lifespan's going to increase. Okay. They're not going to have any powers or anything, but they're also going to be living in a type of world where there is no illnesses or disease. So they're going to be very healthy. And then the next level of upgrades is going to be the star seeds that are going to break off into 3 brackets. So you have the millions of star seeds that are going to be, they're going to have a gift. They're going to be like wizards. They're going to be healers, like a person who could put a hand on you and use energy to heal you instantaneously on the spot. A person who is able to communicate with the spirits and with the earth elements and, have these clairvoyant abilities at full blast. Okay. And then above them, you're going to have kind of like X-Men. You're going to have people that are going to have either teleportation abilities, telepathy abilities, flight abilities. They're going to be able to fly and defy gravity. But each one's going to have one gift. And then beyond that, you're going to have the people that are going to just have every power. They're going to be able to stop time, manipulate reality at will. They're going to be like gods.
Yeah, it's fascinating because when I was young, I was born in Buddhism. So I used to read a lot about different monks who went into forest or jungle and just stay there, meditate. And they just had this power. They just have this power to just fly. So a lot of people saw them fly or teleport. And
Exactly.
it was just kind of hard to believe, but that's what they have been happening back, long time ago. So I guess this is sort of probability that could happen to each one of us, right?
Yes, and they're already planting that possibility through these Marvel and DC movies. Yes.
So what power would you have?
I guess
Since you're a star seed, right?
Correct. I guess I really don't know until we transform, and then we'll all find out.
Do you know who are, like, when you come across people, do you know who are starseed and who are not, who are young souls?
Yes, they have a particular energy signature. When you come across a starseed or an old soul, a god or goddess that decided to become human for the time, to help raise the planet, they have a very particular frequency about them.
And what is that like? Can you share?
Yeah, it's a very strong vibration that not all the other humans have. Most humans vibrate at a hertz from 170 to 200. And then the star seeds or the celestials in human form, the advanced souls, vibrate at a hertz anywhere from 600 to 1,000 hertz per second. So it's a huge difference in vibration.
Wow. And would those people aware that they are star seeds, or
yes,
they have that vibration?
At this time, yes, most of them are now, because the things are shifting. Right now we're entering a new earth, a higher vibration for the collective. So I think by now most of them are aware of who they are. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. So you said it's coming pretty soon, all this shifting and change, and also the descendants.
Exactly. Well, I predicted sometime between 2020 or 2019 and 2023, 24. So any day now. No.
Yeah, astrologically, a lot of people talk about those years as well. In 2024, 25, there's going to be a huge change with the earth and everyone in earth, and so I guess that's pretty much the energy shift that you were talking about with all this change. Now, with all these changes, would it come across as negative changes first for most humans before it becomes good? Do you know what I'm talking about? People talk about revolution, or talking about collapsing of the government or banks or whatever, or cabal going down.
Yes, that's there's so many probabilities, so many possible reality scenarios that are going to be unfolding. So in one aspect or in one timeline, yes, we're going to see the collapse of governments, societal structures, reality as we know it. In another timeline where it's just going to be a gradual shift where it's like you're in this world right now, and then within seconds you're in a different world, but it's the same Earth but in a different dimension. And in another timeline, the changes are going to be taking place in 8 years. It's going to lead up to that, and so things might get worse before they get better. So it all depends on which timeline you are on. There's going to be different timelines. But eventually those timelines are going to be splitting as well. So not everybody's good. Right now they're all coexisting, but soon there's going to be the bifurcation where, depending on where you're resonating and vibrating, you're going to end up on one of those particular timelines.
So you talk about depending on where you're resonating, meaning our own energy, our thoughts, our emotion, correct?
Absolutely correct. Yes.
If we're negative, we're depressed, whatever it is, then we're going to the lower earth.
Yeah, if you're negative, you're going to stay in the third dimensional Earth, which is going to go into a timeline where eventually humans will merge with technology. Cyborgs are going to be a future reality. AI is going to be in control, and you don't want to end up in that timeline.
You don't want to end up in that timeline.
Yeah. They call that the singularity by 2045. If those that go into that timeline by 2045. All androids will be doing, humans will no longer be able to work or anything because eventually the androids are going to take over, and the artificial intelligence will rule the world. And then go ahead.
So what it's like on the other side then, on opposite, the other side of the earth?
What do you mean the other side?
Well, because you said the other side, by 2045 there will be all AI and all those intelligence, robots and all that stuff.
Right.
But if we are not on that side, but we'll be on a different side, what would that
on
be?
the positive side? Then the artificial intelligence, which is the negative technology that was given to us by the evil aliens or the evil ETs, is going to be destroyed when the solar flash takes place, and the Earth will be once again back to its original natural state of being without the negative technology, only the good technology that's going to be beneficial for humanity, the animals, and of course the ecosystem.
Oh wow, okay. So how would we see that? I mean, can people see clear how it's shifting and changing from this point on?
Yes,
or
because it's
only go ahead.
It's already happening on an energetic level. So it's just a matter of it materializing and manifesting in the physical level.
Wonderful. That sounds kind of exciting. What about those people who there's so many people who passed during this time because of COVID and all this, pandemic?
In other words, they were murdered by Dr. Fauci. Yeah,
hallelujah.
He's actually facing trial right now by the White Hats, and it's soon going to be announced to the general public once the White Hats take over the mainstream media. But he's been convicted of developing the AIDS virus, HIV, and of course developing this I don't want to call it COVID, I guess whatever you want to call it, right?
So what happened to those who passed? I mean, is that because of that's what's the delaying of the lifetime that is supposed to be here? Those who were affected and killed by COVID.
Depending on their soul contract, they're either going to they're either in the fifth dimensional Earth already waiting for the rest of us, or they moved on to another planet that is still a third dimensional planet just like this one, and then they're going to continue those lessons until they evolve or at least graduate from the third dimensional reality. Depending on their soul contract, we're all, some of us are going to see our loved ones, they're already there in the fifth dimensional Earth, right? That's what we call heaven on earth. Right, the fifth dimensional reality is heaven.
and do you know your soul contract, Ismael?
Yeah, I know my soul contract. Yes.
You know your soul contract?
Yes.
Would you mind sharing what your soul contract is?
Well, I can't really describe it. It's very long and detailed, but you could say that I'm here to lead the future war against artificial intelligence and do a ultimate battle against AI that will pretty much restore the entire cosmos back to the organic way of life. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I noticed that too. A lot of people now are, with the pandemic, people are more conscious of what they eat, and everything has to be organic, and everything has to be natural. A lot of people are waking up now and
They
see
are,
more
yeah.
clearly that we have been poisoned with all these foods and everything around us. So, I mean, what timeline would that be? Would it be in this next, in our lifetime, or, organically? I mean, when the Earth's changing to the better Earth, how long is that going to be? Because I know it's going to take some time, right?
Well, it all depends on which. I mean, it could happen this weekend. I mean,
Really?
at the rate that these CMEs are coming in, X-class solar flares, it's probably going to happen in the next few days. I'm not sure, but in the event that it does, it's best to be prepared and be centered and have all your wounds cleared in your lower densities, right? So that you could be able to absorb all that light energy vibration that's going to change your body into a butterfly, right?
I
Instead of
love
being a
that.
caterpillar.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, God, I had a question earlier and I just went blank. I couldn't think of that question. That was like fascinating question I want to ask too, but that's okay. Probably it's not meant to be.
Okay,
But
so
anyway,
what's the
yeah.
connection between the King of Lyra and King David, or the lineage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Zeus? It is the same bloodline. So this war between the Holy Grail and the Cabal lineage of Babylon goes back to the galactic war between the Orion Draconian Empire, which is the progenitor of the Cabal, right? By the way, the Cabal are the descendants of the Orion elite families that at one time wanted to conquer the entire galaxy. And then the good guys are traceable back to the Lyra constellation, to a planet called Avion.
Mhm.
Avion was the original Earth. In fact, this is known as the third Earth grand experiment. The first experiment failed due to the galactic wars with the Draco. The second experiment failed in the Pleiadians, when Earth was also in the Pleiadian system as Avion, rotating around Alcyon. It failed because of the galactic wars with the Draco. And now this one is not supposed to fail. This one is supposed to actually, become successful. And that's what's happening now. We're winning the war against the Draco, and we have already in the galaxy. So it's just a matter of time before it manifests here in our world, and that's what we're going to be witnessing soon. So the original descendants of King David, whose bloodline was brought to the earth by Zeus, Enlil, right? The good Anunnaki, not the one, not Enki, Poseidon, could be traceable all the way to Lyra.
Oh, wow,
So
that's
yeah,
fascinating.
Zeus was a descendant of the king of Lyra, and
What-
I talk about him in my book. His name was Amelius.
Yes, and the blue being. You mentioned about blue being before. You just mentioned a name.
Well, there's different ones. There's the Maharashi,
Mhm.
and then there's also the ones that came from Sirius.
Serious. Mhm.
Yeah, those are called the Maharashi. An example of a blue being was Krishna. Krishna was blue. Yeah, so he came to India. He's part of the Syrian High Council.
Is
So
he
all-
part of Zeus too? Because I noticed, like, in every culture, their mythology, usually they come into like a trinity.
Yes,
like
yes.
Shiva, Kali, and Ganesh, and then Zeus, and in
Right,
every
yes.
culture. Mhm.
Yes, they're the same. Zeus and Krishna are actually part of the same lineage. Yes, they come from Sirius, and
That's what I thought. Mhm.
yeah, and they each carry a pure lineage of Lyrian, Palladian, and Syrian. Yes.
That's beautiful. Oh, wow. This is a fun one. This is a very fun one, Ismael. So I know you have time that you have to, end, so we're going to end it right now because you have to
Okay.
take a trip, get ready for that. But I really, really want to thank you for being here because this is very fascinating and gives a lot of hope to a lot of people who see, how everything's going so bad right now. But, with all this thing that's going on, there's a blessing behind those doors, and
agree.
but I agree with that. I have been noticed a changing of the energy in the past, several years. And I've been seeing a lot of changes, and I think this is the time. This is the time that we are gonna witness all these changes. So that's absolutely beautiful. So I want to thank you, Ismael, for being here
You're welcome.
today. and
You're
share
welcome.
with us all this fascinating story. And guys, don't forget to pick up his book because, you know, he wrote a lot of stuff. I haven't finished, you know, I got the Kindle, but I haven't finished reading it. So I want to start reading that because I love the talk today. So this is amazing. It really,
Yeah.
I really felt resonate with what you shared today too. Very much so. It's what I've been known a long time ago. So with that said, Ismael, thank you so much for being here. And we'll come back again and talk some more about it.
You're welcome
Thank you
to.
so much. Yes, you have a
Of course.
wonderful, wonderful weekend.
You do the same.
And guys, don't forget to share this video if you like it. Share with your friends, share it on social media. You can subscribe, click like, and don't forget to buy his books. You know, he has in book format and also in Kindle. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful. Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to Meet Tina here. So today I'm very excited, always excited to have Ismael Perez here with us. He is a star seed and he's an author of this book. There you go, Our Cosmic Origin. So you guys, first of all, you guys gotta have to pick up this book. All right, it's on Amazon.com, and Our Cosmic Origin is quite fascinating topic to me because Ismael has channel information since he's a star seed. He has channel information since he was about 5 or 7 years old, correct?
That's when I knew I was different. That's when I first realized that I
Okay.
was different from the rest
So
of
with that said, Ismael, I'm sure a lot of people want to know more about your background. I have interviewed Ismael about 4 or 5 times already, and you know, just the basic information from your background. So I'm sure people want to know, okay, how did you get influenced? Who influenced you? Were your parents' interest in all this?
My mother.
Yeah.
My mother was a mystic. I believe she channeled when I was a kid. As far as I recall, she used to always tell me about the angels and the spirit guides, and she would encourage me to talk to my invincible friends because she knew that they were my spirit guides. So I would say that she's the one who pretty much triggered me, or at least planted the seed of spirituality from a very early age.
So when you start channeling, did you start it from meditation? Because you mentioned about doing some meditation and yoga before, correct?
Yes, I started, well, how it happened was, as a teenager, I shut down, you know, I rebelled. I became one of those kids that was into like heavy metal, punk rock, and, you know, music like that, very, very rebellious, right? And so I unfortunately also became an alcoholic on an early age. I used to drink a lot of liquor from the age of 15 to the age of 19.
No way.
Yes, severely, to the point where I was drinking about 40 ounces a day and a pint of vodka just to kind of cope with my pain of losing my mother at the age of 16, because my mother did pass away when I was 16. So that had an effect on me, apparently.
Oh God, so sorry to hear about that. I didn't even know. I was gonna ask you like, why did you drink so much? Okay. Wow, okay.
So,
That's hard for that age. Yes.
yeah, you know, and so what happened was my aunts all decided to send me to rehab. And so I went to rehab at the age of 19. And in that place, I met this man who was not there because he had a drinking or drug issue, but he was there as an assistant to the pastor to help cook for the man in the home. And it was a Christian man's home. It was like a sober living type home. And he said that he was expecting me. You know, he says, I've been expecting you. And I kind of was startled by that because he was this grown man telling me, a 19-year-old, that he was expecting me. And then that's when he told me, you know, I was told about you by the great, you know, White Brotherhood, by the masters, that you would be here, and that I had to give you some information and initiate you. And I said, okay, what does initiate mean? You know, I'm kind of confused. I don't know what that word means. He goes, oh, I have to teach you how to meditate so that you could access yourself as to who you are. He was trying to tell me that I was some sort of like, you know, big spiritual master, that I needed to remember who I was and why I came to the earth. And so you know, he taught me Kriya yoga for the first time. He taught me the breathing techniques. He taught me how to do the entire meditation, where I was able to activate my different chakras and clear my head. And, you know, I believe that was like the beginning point of my spiritual awakening. That's what
So,
it's like to wake up once again after I suppressed it for many years.
wow. So for how long have you meditated until you were able to connect or access information?
I was able to connect directly. Yes, one of the very first books that I read was called The Autobiography of the Yogi, of Yogananda,
Yes.
Brahmananda, which is
Uh-huh.
the yogi. And I felt his presence. I also felt Sai Baba's presence and many other masters that have ascended. And they were coming to me in meditations. They were giving me messages that I had to continue and complete the work that they began ages ago. And that I wasn't alone, that there was others like me that I would eventually meet, and that together we would, complete what they call the great work of all ages.
Have you met them yet?
In my dreams and in visions, yes, because they operate from the seventh dimension.
Oh, wow. So when you meditate, you connect with them, you can see them in your vision, correct?
Absolutely, yes,
And you still do it now too.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Now,
So
but
you
now,
constantly get information from them, right?
well, not only the masters. Now I'm able to, connect with the galactics, the extraterrestrial benevolent forces that are assisting us. I've been doing that for over 10 years now. I used to think I was crazy talking to extraterrestrials, but I knew that I was one of them, and so there was a reason why I was able to, connect with them on a personal level. And so I've been doing that for many, many years. And that's the reason why I was able to access all that galactic information and the cosmic history of the Earth, and then verified through research, was because I was able to connect with the galactics.
So have you come across any individual who also have doing the same thing as you do, connecting as well as you do?
And I've never met anyone in person. Maybe perhaps that has the gifts that I have to the extent that I have. However, I do know that there are star seeds out there that are able to get downloads and messages from the galactics. I do know that for sure, and I think that this is something that is applicable. I mean, something that is um, inclusive of all star seeds. I think all star seeds either are already doing it or have the potential to do it.
But how come they're not doing it? Or
Um, Sometimes you just have to trigger that in them. And I think that's what I've been doing with my book. I think a lot of people that have been reading my book have been responding in a positive way by saying that after reading my book, they were able to have more of a, clear connection to their star family, which is a good thing.
beautiful, beautiful. So now let's talk about, you mentioned about solar flash before. So can you tell us what solar flash and how do we know when it's coming or when it's coming? And also we have this full moon, the solar eclipse, the blood moon. Does it has any significance that's related to what's going to happen
Very
at
much
all?
so. Very much so. It turns out, Tina, that the planetary and star alignments have a huge influence on Earth and on our minds, and pretty much, on everything in general. It turns out that right now we are living in a very, very prophetic time where many things are aligning. Many prophecies are coming to fruition, and so the Great Solar Flash has been at the corner, or has been the foundation of all these prophecies that have been shared before by ancient societies, predicting the events that would unfold in the times that we are now living in. For prophecies of what to expect, how to prepare for the shifting of the ages. So the Great Solar Flash is pretty much the final release of the sun, because the sun is feeding us with universal life force. The sun gets its energy from the galactic core, and then, of course, the Earth is nourished by the sun via the galactic core. And so the final flash is going to be released when the sun is able to see if everyone's ready to be transformed into the next stage of evolution. So that's what the solar flash is. It is the signal that is going to transform humanity into the next era or the next stage of evolution.
So you mentioned it's coming soon. How would one know that it's coming already or it's here already? I mean, you probably channel information, but how would we all can be prepared for this, or even know or aware that, okay, it's close, it's right here, right now?
It's something that we are all feeling on an intuitive level. there's a lot of people out there who are keeping track of the CMEs and the different degrees and power of these CMEs that are incoming and that have been incoming for the last 2.5 months. And so because of this increase in CMEs that is happening, that is one of the many ways that we are able to detect that we are very close for that final, release of the sun that is going to change everything on planet Earth for the better.
So timeline, can you give us a timeline? Approximate.
Between now and 2024, that's the first vision that I had, and I actually wrote about that in my book. So, and other people have been actually confirming that date. It's not just coming from me, it's coming from other sources that I've never met that are saying, yes, 2024 is the deadline for the Earth to ascend into the next level of existence.
Beautiful. Now, the next question I have is negative blood. We briefly talked about that before in the prior video. So I want you to kind of go a little bit more deeper, because you said it's very, very important, blood, and it's very rare. Is that what it is, you said?
Correct. Yeah. Well, the difference between Rh positive and Rh negative is that the Rh positive blood type carries within its genetic code the rhesus monkey protein synthesis, which is relatable to the primitives, Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, and of course, Homo erectus. So only about 90% of the population has that blood, where they have a genetic relationship to primates. And then there's only 10% of the population who are Rh negative that do not have the rhesus monkey protein. So that's why they're negative. It's negative because it's minus the primitive gene.
Now, does it have to be an O type, or it can be AB, or negative?
There's only negative or positive, but yes, there's A, B, and O. Those are the only types. But yes, it could be A negative, AB negative, O negative, or B negative. As long as they're negative, they don't have the rhesus monkey protein. And that's the difference between that 10% of the population and the other 90% who has the rhesus monkey protein.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned in one of your talk before about how important, how rare it is, or is it kind of dangerous to have the negative minus? I mean, the minus negative blood. Hello.
No, not at all, because of the fact that the people that are Rh negative are actually they're extraterrestrials. It is a lineage that was established in Atlantis thousands and thousands of years ago by the extraterrestrial forces, commonly known as the gods of mythology, who existed during ancient times. So the gods of mythology, who apparently came to us from another world, and that's who they were. They were extraterrestrials from advanced civilizations, that coexisted with ascending men, and they are the ones that brought the Rh negative blood type to the Earth, because they established a progeny, and throughout the millennium, that progeny multiplied now into like 12% of the population. Yeah, and so that tells us how these Rh negatives, or gives us at least an origin to these Rh negative blood types, because even scientists, when they do their research about the Rh negative blood type, they know that they can detect it, that it's obviously a blood that comes from another planet, because it's not it's not how can I say it, it's not indigenous to this Earth. It's not.
I see.
Yeah.
So the negative are the extraterrestrials.
Yes.
And the positive are mixed with the primitive.
Are the indigenous Earth clone. Exactly. That's the difference.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Now, what about ascension? You're talking about, a lot of people talk about ascensions for ages, Are we ascending at this moment, or are we about to, unless we hit the solar flash?
Well,
how does it work? Yes.
The solar flash and the ascension are actually related. We are ascending because the sun is releasing heavenly increases of cosmic gamma ray energy that is causing the Earth to catapult into the higher level of reality, or what we call the fifth dimension. And so what we're doing is we're actually waiting for that final release to complete the transformation into the fifth dimension. So we're about halfway there. Many believe that we are actually currently in the fourth dimension already.
What would you say? What do you think? Are we in the fourth dimension already?
I think we could be, because the veil is thinning. People are starting to see spirits. The spirit realm and the physical realm are becoming more tangible, or at least people are piercing into the spirit realm. Because one of the things that is associated with fifth dimensional living is having a direct connection to the spirit realm. There is no mistake. It's almost like the physical and the spirit realm merge as one. That's the beauty of being in a fifth dimensional reality.
So you're talking about people see spirit, or people become more intuitive, and how's that?
All of the around, all of the above. Yeah, people are able to see things for what they really are. For instance, a lot of people are starting to see extraterrestrials. They're starting to see, beings, interdimensional beings, because that's what spirits are. Spirits are interdimensional beings, or beings from another dimension.
So how many dimensions are there out there?
Well, technically there are 15, but as I speak, there are 3 more dimensions that are being developed right now. And
can you elaborate on that? I mean,
sure,
why
sure.
is it being?
So we have currently existed in 15 dimensions. The 15 dimensions are divided in 5 harmonic universes. Each universe consists of 3 dimensions. So 3 times 5 is 15. So for example, the original harmonic universe was known as universe number 5, which occupied, the always existing realms, which includes dimensions 13, 14, and 15. And then that universe, decided to one day experience more of itself. So it dropped into a lower frequency or a lower harmonic to become harmonic universe number 4. And then that's what gave us dimensions 10, 11, and 12. And then as that dropped into a lower octave, it became harmonic universe number 3, and that gave us dimensions 4, 5, and 6. And then that later dropped into the lowest harmonics to give us harmonic universe number 1, and that gave us dimensions 1, 2, and 3. So there's a total of 5 harmonic universes. But as I speak, another harmonic universe is being developed that is actually allowing us to now have access to the 16th, 17th, and 18th dimension, which is totally something new. But even within,
because the universe is constantly expanding.
Yes, absolutely. But even within the dimensions, the dimensions are divided into sub-dimensions, sub-levels of reality, different realms. So the dimensions are divided into realms. Each realm is divided into different levels of reality. So even within the dimensions, you have further sub-levels. So each dimension has another layer of sub dimensions or levels or realms that are also divided in 12. So everything's always divided by 12. So in that reality, in that aspect, it's infinite. It's infinite number of realities. Yes, and that explains the multiverse. But technically, only 15 dimensions exist overall as the mother dimensions.
Oh, wow, it's very complex there. So, yeah, now, once you completed your, what I would say, your task, or being here in this earth, where do you know where you have to go? Scratch it out. I'm going to have another question. Do you have a different reality that you're existing at this moment besides the one that you are on earth right now? A different of your fragment itself.
Yes. Yes, there's 12 major versions that we all have, and then that further divides into 1,724 versions. So so we are fragmented into about 1,743 versions. That's how big our consciousness is.
You're talking about every one of us? Each one of us have that?
Every single one of us has different.
Not just the 10% of terrestrial blood have that.
Not just
even indigenous one.
Even the indigenous ones. Every being in the multiverse has at least 12 versions of themselves, major versions, and then each one divides further into smaller versions, and that creates a multiverse in a sense where there's different versions of you and slightly different that exist in multiple universes and on different Earths as well.
Wow. So since you are channeling information, are you aware of other multiverse self that you have, all those different realities?
I have come into awareness of other versions of myself. Yes, I have.
Oh, what were they? Can you give us something? I'm curious. Yes.
Sure, yeah. Well, one of my versions is King Solomon, the son of David, Solomon the wise, the wizard.
So even though it's in the past,
it's
several thousand years ago, it is still existing at the moment.
Yes, in a different timeline, Solomon is still alive. Yes. So that's why I was saying that the future and the past are actually coexisting with the present.
Now you got me one good question coming up here, because I'm also a hypnotherapist, and I used to hypnotize. I
Nice.
studied with Dolores Canyon, and so I did that hypnotherapy on my clients. I ran into several clients who told me that they were a reincarnation of like Isis from Egyptian time. How can it be possible that I got this, let's say 3 clients that have the same reincarnation as Isis?
Because Isis is a oversoul. The oversoul breaks off into smaller souls. So each client is one of the smaller souls of the oversoul. There are many people that are claiming to have been, you know, Jesus, Osiris, and stuff like that. Well, that explains the fact that, you know, they are different fragments of the oversoul. So all those people that existed, the gods of mythology, were oversouls. They had progeny, and their progeny now it multiplied to 13%, 12 to 13% of the population. So that's why people are having these, you know, connections to these other fragments of themselves that are still coexisting.
So what you're saying, like, these 3 clients of mine, they don't know each other, but they are seeing the same past life or the same fragment itself. These 3 are interconnected. They're connected with each other. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. Even though they don't know each other, they're still part of the same oversoul. Yes.
This is fascinating.
Yeah. So there's other aspects of yourself, Atina, that are coexisting here on this earth as well that you don't even know, that are doing different lifestyles than you.
I believe that. I actually been funny. I have been told that by other people that they met someone just like me. But it's funny. I kind of knew about that already. That there's another me existing right now on this earth. Kind of weird, but just the knowing. So kind of odd to think about that, but because not only you that told me that you were King Solomon, but I've been told also by other person as well that there were reincarnation of King Solomon as well. So I was like, whoa, this is interesting. So what is the purpose of reincarnating with the same soul, or you know, sub-soul, different fragment itself into the same reality here, into this earth?
Well, it's
well, I guess Ismael just disappeared into a different reality, guys. So we're just gonna have to wait until he's transported back into this earth. So let me text him. Okay, just text Ismael, so he's gonna have to come back. At first, I was thinking like, what's going on here? But while we're waiting for Ismael to come back, I'm just gonna share his book on Amazon with you. Okay, guys. So this is on Amazon, his book, Our Cosmic Origin. So just go ahead and go to Amazon. I have his link, the link for this book, under description under each video that I interview him. Just go ahead and click that link. It's gonna take you to his book here on Amazon, and you just get paperback, or you can get on Kindle. It's so worth it, and it's quite fascinating. So I just wanted to share with you, so you can go ahead and get his book. And also, I'm going to share one of the videos that I have interviewed him on my past YouTube video. This is one of them. And he's talked about how like there's huge DNA upgrade is coming, the solar flash that he talks about earlier, that is coming in, and it's going to change our DNA from 7 strand or 7 chakra into the 12th strand of DNA, which is going to amplify our gift and our ability, kind of like superpower, you know? And so as you can see here, it got his bio, got his personal information, and here's a link that I mentioned about into his book. So you guys can go to this link and grab his book. All right. So, and I have interviewed him about 4 or 5 times already. So you can go through my playlist and check out all his video. It's quite fascinating just to listen to what he has to share. Just like earlier, a lot of stuff that he has shared is quite fascinating. So it looks like he's back. So I'm just gonna bring you guys back. But Ismael, while we were waiting for you to come back, jump back from back into this reality to the third reality.
Oh,
I was showing the listeners to the link to Amazon to get your book, and also one of the video that I did interview you about DNA upgrade, the solar flash coming in. So now you're back, so we're going to continue on.
sorry about that. My battery died.
It's okay, that happened. So luckily I got this page up, on your past video and also on Amazon about your book. So I showed the audience where they can get your book as well under the description. But I was just teasing you. I was like, okay, he just transported into different reality. He has to come back to the earth realm. I said, come on, call Ismael home here. Just come back home. Yeah. So anything else, Ismael, you would like to share? Because I know you always get downloads constantly, because for you to share information on a daily basis with us, because Ismael also share a lot of his personal video on Instagram, guys. So you can go under description, and I have his Instagram contact. You just follow him, and you come out with video almost every day, right, Ismael?
Yes. Well, I try to, because there's a lot of people out there putting misinformation, trying to scare people that we're all going to be enslaved by the one world government, that we're going to be taken over by evil aliens, or they're going to doomsday mentality. And I just want to let people know that the war has been won by the light. We're just waiting for the outcome to manifest here in the third dimensional realm, but the war has already been secured in the higher dimensions. And one of the things that I do is I get information that is based on the ascending positive timeline, just to let everybody know that, hey, if you're on the ascending positive timeline, you don't have to worry about anything. Things are actually going to get better for you. Your life is going to be beautiful.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I just interviewed another lady, and she talks about planet Jupiter, which is very, very powerful, positive planet. It's here right now, and it's very positive to everyone. And what I like about you, Ismael, that you are always promoting a positive light and information to uplift everyone's spirit. And that's a great aliens to have, really, right? Because right now, a lot of people are fearful of, like, what we just have COVID for a couple of years. And then now with inflation, recession, they're all talking about, and then the war, and then the shortage of foods, and everything just kind of amplify fear in humanity.
Exactly.
That's not good. So
No.
to have someone like you who share information and bring this positive light and information and messages, and just to tell people the truth, hey, you know what? All these are just cover up. All these are just trying to make human to fall into the fears, because that's what they drive for. It's a low frequency of fear energy. And that's what I believe that. So is there anything else that you would like to share with us? I know you got a lot of people want to ask you a lot of questions, and sometimes I'd rather have you just kind of share with what you have at the moment.
Well, this whole idea that our country, or those that are part of the United States government, are going to sign our constitution over to the World Health Organization, right, is a fear tactic. They want people to think that there is no good guys, that that the bad guys won, and their one world government is coming, and we're all going to be slaves. That's not true. The truth of the matter is that the good guys won, and they even won the war in space. The negative aliens that were in control of the cabal have been defeated back in 2016. They were defeated by the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation. Now, who is the Galactic Federation? Those are the positive extraterrestrials that are human-like, that have been assisting us and helping us for thousands of years. Because, overall, this is the most important planet in the universe. So right now, everyone's assisting us. Everyone's assisting us to make sure that we are safely secured in the positive ascending timeline, because what happens here on the earth is going to have an effect on the entire multiverse. And so that's why we're receiving help from even beings that are beyond the Galactic Federation. All eyes are on Earth at this time, and that's why,
Wow.
that's why we have nothing to worry about. There's God's agenda that is being driven by the forces of light, right? And then there's the other guy's agenda, but their agenda was limited. They were only given temporary control of the planet, and now their time is up. And this is verified by all the prophecies. The prophecies never said that the one world government was going to be established and humanity was going to be enslaved or destroyed. The prophecy said that there would be an attempt to establish a one world government, but right before they did that they were going to be defeated, exposed, and that humanity would be liberated, and that would usher in the age of Aquarius. And that's what the original prophecy said.
Exactly. Amen to that. Well, Ismael, thank you so much, for being here and, sharing your wisdom to everyone here. I love that light and the positivity that you brought onto every single talk. And I have to agree with that. So, everyone just like stay positive and just not fall into that fear. I think this world will uplift a lot faster. And we need someone like you. We need someone like you to just spread around this beautiful love and light. So, Ismael, thank you so much for being here.
Welcome. Thank you, Tina, for having me.
You're going to come back again because I know he's getting so busy right now. He got so many people that want to interview him. So you guys get in line. I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right. You have
guys, you like this video, make sure you share this video at your social media, share Ismael information with everyone, click subscribe on this channel, click like, and just make sure you follow him on this Instagram. What is your Instagram name? I mean, I have it under description, but I would like you to just go ahead and share it.
Sure. It's under Project Restoration Zion 1, the number 1 at the end, all one word. And Zion is spelled with the Z as in zebra. So it's Project Restoration Zion 1.
Good. And you can look up YouTube too. You have your own YouTube channel. I just saw it. I subscribed too.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Some of those videos are very good. They were all of them. I listened to all of them, but there were a couple that has to do with the U.S. government, President Truman, and how it started from Hitler. Yeah, exactly. I love that video. That one is really good. I knew about that already, but that was really like a confirmation that I got as well. So with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in, listen to this, channel. Ismael, thank you.
You're welcome, Tina. Thank you.
And I'll see you again soon. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.